Hello there, this is Kaitasu, and today I'd like to demo you the Clasilla web browser. Here we are inside the classic Macintosh operating system, Mac OS 9.0.4, with 1 gigabyte of memory and under the PowerPC processor architecture. Clasilla itself is a web browser that was built for the Macintosh operating system and more specifically for the classic Mac OS. Clasilla is the last sort of development for the classic Mac OS. It's still in development, however, it's still not too stable. Here's the README file. It says, "Welcome to Clasilla. Clasilla is the free open source Mozilla-based web browser for the classic Mac OS 8.6 and 9.x, offering improvement support for modern web standards on your classic Power Macintosh system. Clasilla is still under development. There are known bugs. Please read the online release notes at www.clasilla.org for up-to-date information and complete installation instructions before you start using Clasilla. Thanks for your support." Uh, in my opinion, Clasilla is really good at some pretty basic web browsing. And here it is. Here's Clasilla. Let's create a first window. Here it is. And this is Clasilla. And this is the homepage of Clasilla. And one thing you will want to do when you start using this web browser is to disable this applet right here, and don't do this because that's going to blow up the whole operating system. So it says, "Welcome to Clasilla." Hi there, and you're using the most current version available, 9.2.2. Now, a little reference to 9.2.2. As you may know, 9.2.2 is actually one of the last versions of the Mac OS, indeed the last version of the Mac OS 9 and Macintosh Classic Operating System. So they actually go by the Mac OS 9 versions, and which makes me wonder what's going to be next after 9.2.2. Maybe it will be just a code name. So this is it. This is the main page. And of course, HTML for certification. And so here's how you're gonna get it. You're gonna have to go to your favorite search engine, and you're just gonna type Clasilla with two S and two L's. And of course, the web browser itself is still in development, so just be mindful of that. And what's gonna happen is the first link will link to Wikipedia, and I suggest you read a little bit about the web browser itself. And as you can see, the web browser is doing a really good job at displaying Wikipedia. So the website for the web browser itself is clasilla.org. It'll redirect you to this web address. And so here it is. And you just say download 9.2.2, and you just download it from Google Code. So this is fully open sourced. So here, one thing to notice, Clasilla itself is based on the Mozilla suite. So it has almost everything on the user interface part. Just about everything looks the same as Mozilla, and as well as SeaMonkey. So save to disk, and save to desktop, and it has a built-in download manager, and so 27 seconds of elapsed time. Once that's done, you can just collapse the window, and you have the zip file, and then you can unzip or unzip or such, and then you'll get the result. Some basic notes regarding compatibility and web standards. Um, just a little taste on how you would do some regular web browsing, some sort of more advanced web browsing. You can see it's still a little slow. So here's the channel, and you can see there's some formatting hiccups on here. There's still some stuff to they have to fill in and upgrade and reprogram. But basically, um, just going to, for example, MSN. Let's try one of those things. Um, However, Flash is not enabled in this current build of the operating system, and I'm still trying to search for the plugin, the Flash plugin. And so, as you see, it is quite slow because it's loading a whole web page, user interface objects, and so on, just graphics and animations. And the web browser is actually going to halt. There you go. And so here we go. Here's how it rendered the page. So that's that. Um, it is very basic. It is very basic, and I highly suggest it if you have a computer just laying around, like a PowerBook, or perhaps a Macintosh that's just laying around, and maybe you can reuse it. You can see there's a little hiccup again. It's another hiccup. So here. So, but that's Clasilla. In Clasilla, it's fully featured. It still has some stuff to work on. You can see right here is the M. That's the Mozilla suite, and it's going to direct me to that again. So every time you want to wish to go to the home page, you just click the M and the dinosaur. So as you can see, Clasilla is still not finished, and Clasilla is exclusively for the classic Mac OS. So. And Clasilla isn't going to get there without your help. There's still a lot of people who maybe need a lot of to get together. That's the purpose of open source, to just gather everyone and be able to work on one project or several projects. And a little bit, if you want to go further and you want to go into the actual macOS 10 system based on Next Step and Unix, then you have this right here. That's based on the for it's based on some Firefox, yet is optimized for the G3 and G4 and G5 processors. So it's another project. Uh, you can see an iBook, give it a second life, and so on. More importantly, preferences. Here you're gonna see that we have all the preferences that are close to Mozilla and SeaMonkey, and pretty much you have appearance, and you can just expand the menu. You can change the colors, and so on. You can say change fonts and the themes. You can say change to classic, but I'd rather use the modern. In navigation, in history, and all the basic things out there. But most instantly, advanced and enabling Java, but not universally. That is very important. And you can expand this menu. You can see performance. You can disable all plugins. So, I mean, if you're having performance issues, you can disable plugins. Scripts and plugins, enable JavaScript for Navigator and mail and news groups. Proxies. Here, all basic web browser settings are built into this, since it's the fork of the Mozilla suite. Mouse wheel, align this space, and so many more things that can be configured to the user's preferences and desires. Let's try something. The Book of Mozilla right here. And the beast shall be made to legion, means numbers shall be increased into 1,000 of folds. The din of a million keywords like undo a great storm shall cover the earth, and the followers of Mammon Shall Tremble from the books of Mozilla 331, regular edition. So you can see this is actually a full-blooded version of sort of the Mozilla suite. I mean, Firefox, SeaMonkey, and this all have the book of Mozilla. One of the reasons being that I'm showing you this is because this is still based on the same code as the original Mozilla suite. It's just been upgraded. And of course, you have bookmarks. And so, for example, I can just let's say bookmark this, go to apple.com, and it's going to be another web page that's going to take a while to load. But you can just say bookmarks and bookmark this page. And, uh, and you can just see there's your bookmark. So you can also manage bookmarks if you want to do a little bit of info management, data gathering, and so on. You can just go back home. And all these features you have on the Clasilla. So that's that. No support for HTML5 yet, and I don't think I will see. We will not see that anytime soon, as because we need those bugs fixed, or rather, uh, we all need those things fixed. So quit, and if you want to see more what's inside this folder, you have an address book, and you have a JavaScript console, and you have plugins which you can actually put on here, and if they're compatible with the original Mozilla suite, they can actually work here. And you can actually put a Flash plugin here, and right here's a little jar which is a Java plugin. You can search plugins, Mozilla, source code, and so on. And Chrome, which is something that I'm not quite sure what it is, but it seems to be perhaps a localization file, since I'm seeing US and so on in toolkit or non-script. Essential files. Here are some extensions. There are some extensions that may come in handy for later retrieval if someone wants to code it or rewrite or reverse engineer. So that's that. That is the Clasilla, the Clasilla suite. Very very modular. It still needs a little bit of work, but I think it's gonna be a great. It's already a great start. Just gonna, whoops. About Clasilla. There you can see a little HTML file they compiled, and so that's that. Okay, and so that is the Clasilla web browser for the Macintosh operating system, available for macOS 8.6 and 9, and I wouldn't see a reason to run this on under Classic though. Although, you know, I may want to try that and see what the result is. So that's that. All right, thank you very much.